Well, welcome everyone to Q Live. We are coming at you live from beautiful Palm Springs, California. The weather is perfect, and we are at the National Q Conference. Always a great place to be, and I have the great pleasure of being here with Brian Twarek. I'm so excited to be able to speak with you today. I know you've got some great insight to share with all of us, and can you introduce yourself and let us know, what do you do?
Sure. My name is Brian Twarek. I often go by BT, and I lead our computer science work for San Francisco Unified School District. And there we are working to teach every student every year computer science. And Katherine and I also worked on creating the California Computer Science Standards, which were just adopted by the State Board in September.
Unanimously, I must add.
That's right.
Very exciting. And BT, you were also on the Computer Science Strategic Implementation Panel. Did I say it correctly?
That's right.
Okay, so also some work with that. Tell us a little bit about what that work was like. Why are you passionate about it? Why does this matter?
Yeah, so I think that all students can and must learn computer science, and it's I like thinking about computer science as a new literacy where students learn in order to learn in new ways. So by creating with code, they are able to learn new things and in new ways, and it really the transition to creator is just so much more powerful because there's many more tools in the toolkit when you can create through computation.
I love that, yeah.
And I think it's also important to note that I don't think it's important for all children because all children become programmers or work in the technology industry. It's more that because all of our jobs in our society are increasingly reliant on computing and computation, it's important for everybody to understand the basics and be able to communicate clearly with the people who are creating that, and will only get more and more important.
Excellent. Absolutely. So you've done a lot of work, at your district and also at the state level. What challenges do you see coming from educators that don't even know what computer science really is, and how can we support them?
Yeah, I think, you nailed one challenge, which is most adults in today's world just don't know computer science. They never learned it in school, they never had the opportunity. So there needs to be a chance for them to learn that and to gain the background. I'd say a second is time. It's where does this fit and what gives when this comes in? And I think both of those are very doable because computer science, I think, seems much scarier than it actually should be. It's actually much more approachable, and I think the important part is just to get started. So I often encourage teachers just to begin as learners themselves. Find a curriculum that exists for students and just start working through it and seeing what is that experience like? What are you learning? Look at the standards. What does that connect to? What is the content you're aiming towards? And then with the time, it's a tricky one, but I think easiest answer is that computer science can and maybe should be integrated with other disciplines. And in the newly adopted state standards for computer science, there are a lot of strong interdisciplinary examples that show how computer science can fit within an ELA or a science or math or art class.
Absolutely. I love that. That's great. What about, you've talked a lot about the importance of computer science. What about the equity piece? Is there a problem with access and why don't you speak to that?
Yeah, so currently, technologies are made by such a small subset of the population. It's a lot of people who look much more like me, which are white Asian men, and that's a problem because when our creators represent a much wider diversity, then how what we create will also change astronomically. So the people who have more diverse experiences will create more diverse technologies that meet the greater needs of society, and that issue with who's in industry exists at every level of the pipeline. So unfortunately, at the college university level, women and underrepresented people of color are dramatically underrepresented in computing majors, and the same exists at the high school and going down level. So this new effort of Computer Science for All, or CS for All, is about disrupting that pipeline. It's from the beginning saying this is for all students, and not just saying it is, but designing computer science in a different way where it's actually considering the needs of all diverse learners and making it relevant to them. I think we don't want to just like draw down what's been done at the like post-secondary level and say we want to redesign for how do we spark students' creativity and connect to their passions with a new like toolkit, as opposed to how do we just like make this a little bit simpler so we can teach like loops, then we can teach blah, then we can teach blah.
Excellent. So if I'm an educator or a leader that's wanting to learn more about this, to learn more about the topic of computer science education, where would I go?
I would say like find a network or find a local professional development. So there's the Q Computer Science Learning Network.
Yeah.
There's also the Computer Science Teacher Association, or CSTA, has a lot of local chapters, and it's a great place where most of them have monthly meetups. And I'd say like connecting with people in person to just like have somebody walk you through is an awesome way to start. And then there's a lot of professional development that's offered throughout the state, and some is also electronic. And I'd say like give yourself just a chance to learn. And if you can't find something in person, I'd say like go through curriculum yourself.
Excellent. How can people connect with you if via social media, or what's the best way if people have questions for you?
Yeah, so you can see the curriculum we developed and what we do for professional development in San Francisco at csinsf.org. And you can most easily find me on Twitter at BTWAREK, Twarek.
Awesome. And I want to thank you for not just for being here, but BT has helped me quite a bit in my journey to learn more about computer science, and with all of the great work that he's been doing at San Francisco Unified, really has become a place where others are looking and learning. And so I feel like you are a pioneer in this journey, at least in California. And so we thank you so much for your work.
Thanks.
I really mean it. And so, thank you for your work there, but the fact that it's scaling and that we are able to look to you for some, to see what computer science education can look like.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's certainly a daunting challenge to think about how to integrate this new discipline for all students in such a large state.
Yeah.
But like, I also see this passion among teachers that like, yeah, this is so important and it's possible. So it'll take some time and some hard work, but definitely it's doable.
Well, thank you so much. I
Pleasure.
appreciate you being here, BT, Brian Twarek, with us, coming from Palm Springs at our Q conference, national conference. And again, be sure to connect with our professional learning network, certainly the Computer Science Learning Network of Q. And everybody have a wonderful time, and we are happy to connect with you.
Happy Q.
Thanks so much.